Hello everyone, I'm going to go through each section of my literature review. I hope that you enjoy it. I'm going to start with the abstract. My literature review was on adaptive learning. My paper defines adaptive learning in the classroom and discusses the influence and implications of adaptive learning in the field of educational technology. Adaptive learning aims to use computers as interactive teaching tools to provide a unique learning experience for each student based on the response they give, both correct and incorrect. Moving to the introduction, it's safe to say that every student does not learn the same way. Would it be a welcome change if the learning environment could change based on student response and feedback in such a way that their learning environment is catered to them? Adaptive learning provides a gateway to this method of innovation. Adaptive learning gives different students the opportunity to follow individual learning paths to meet their specific learning or training needs. One of the major advantages of adaptive learning in relation to remediation is that when it is formed around the learner, there's a chance that they will be more successful. Now to the overview section. In alternative education, it's common to use unconventional teaching strategies in order to educate students. Working in alternative education, adaptive learning was a technology that interested me. It interested me because not only is it an innovation in the field, but if presented correctly, could be directly used to enhance and change the learning experience for my students. This literature review will discuss the emergence and development of adaptive learning, the adoption into the field of education, the adaptation of adaptive learning in the classroom, the diffusion and integration into various instructional settings, and lastly, the future implications it has for the field of educational technology. Now to the emergence section. Adaptive learning began in the 1950s with teaching machines developed by Sidney Pressley. The main purpose of teaching machines was for assessment, and these followed a linear design. The next innovation was by B.F. Skinner, and his machine was based off of programmed instruction. Now, programmed instruction is instruction designed to achieve a certain behavioral goal by small steps with reinforcements and rewards each step of the way. The next development was adaptive learning systems, and these systems kept records of student profiles and adjusted the course based on user response. The most recent advance is intelligent adaptive learning, and intelligent adaptive learning provides a personalized experience for each student by recording all aspects of student interaction. Moving to the adoption section, adaptive learning aims to address the instructional needs of individualized instruction. Those that benefit from adaptive learning is the learner, and when the learning is user-specific, the side effects can only be positive. Based on the research that I conducted, in my opinion, the rate of adoption of this technology is inhibited due to the lack of financial resources. And if that didn't exist, then the rate of adoption would be higher. Now moving to the adaptation section. Many of the studies I used for research on adaptive learning were case studies where modifications have been made to prove that adaptive learning was becoming a successful new technology. The case studies I used in my literature review added small modifications. The first modification was by basing the adaptive learning systems off of learning styles of each user. The second case study, the modification added scaffolding to the adaptive learning system as students would learn new topics. Now to the diffusion and integration section. Although I think adaptive learning could be utilized across different instructional settings, most of the research I found was in educational settings. The employment of this technology better meets the needs of students when there is a topic that is challenging to the learner, such as a remediation topic. The professionals that have had the opportunity to conduct studies on adaptive learning have found the technology to be successful and useful, and although their demographics don't seem to be a factor, their goal appears to be the same. Now on to the future implications section. Adaptive learning is typically performed on computers, and one of the future implications I found in my research was mobile adaptive learning. This is simply allowing access to the adaptive learning systems from a mobile device. Another was intelligent adaptive learning, which just provides a more personalized experience for the learner. It records everything on the student profile down to how long it takes for students to answer each question. I think that adaptive learning will become more popular in the future based on my research because it will be a useful tool in education. I concluded my literature review with a conclusion section. And my conclusion restated that adaptive learning is a new technology that is learner specific, altering based on learner response and feedback. I believe that in order for this new technology to be diffused and integrated into educational technology, there needs to be more research on this technology both in education and outside of the field. It is my hope that this new technology is used to aid in remediation in the classroom and become more widely used in educational technology. Thank you for watching my video on my literature review. Please feel free to leave any comments or questions in the discussion board. Thank you.